Her child had suddenly disappeared, and what the cameras revealed was truly shocking. Prepare, dear friends, for a tale that will carry you away on a journey of wonder and delight. Go ahead and take a moment to really connect with your heart. It's not just a story to be heard, but I'm sure you'll want to live it between every line and every scene. I know this feeling so well. And don't forget to give it a like. Go ahead and subscribe, activate the bell, and share your thoughts with us. We'd love to know which country you're following us from. Let's jump in. As the sun was starting to set, the sky was filled with a beautiful golden glow. The sunlight streamed through the little kitchen window and danced on the surface of the water. Layla's hair was cut short, just like the apples she was cutting for her little boy. Adam, who was 5 years old, appeared to be just fine. It was a warm and cozy feeling, like life was free from pain. "Mommy, can I go play in front of the house for a while?" He raised. He looked at her with a warm expression, seeing her sweet face. Her smile lit up the room. He gently reminded her, "Please don't go too far, just stay right in front of the door, and try not to talk to strangers. And please, don't talk to strangers." He gave a little nod of agreement. With a spring in his step, he rushed out the door, his face alight with joy. That was the last time she saw him was really tough for her. 10 minutes passed, then 15. She felt a bit anxious, as was normal for her. She went out to take a look. The little street in front of the house is so charming. There was no one there, which was a bit disappointing. She called out gently, "Adam, Adam, where are you?" But there was no answer. She stepped out of the doorway and began to wander around the neighborhood. The neighbors asked if anyone had seen him. He might have gone to play with the neighbors' kids. "I'm sure he'll be back soon." They said not to worry. But something in her heart told her that something was wrong. There was a voice inside her, gently whispering that something was wrong. After half an hour had passed, then an hour, the screams began to rise. She's speaking from the heart, not her mouth. Her voice filled the street, and it was like a warm breeze on a summer day. "Hey, Adam. Hey, Adam." A group of people gathered around her, and some of them tried to calm her down. And others were searching for him, but they couldn't find him. With the exception of the little bag he was carrying on his back. It was right next to the trash can. When she saw it, she fell to the. She embraced the bag with loving tenderness, as if it were her own little one. She fell to the ground and wept like she had never wept before. From that moment on, Layla was never the same. From that moment on, she began a journey she had no idea where it would lead her. It was almost 10 o'clock at night, and I was thinking about how nice it would be to get some rest. The neighborhood was bathed in a deep, peaceful silence, gently interrupted only by the soft sounds of everyday life. Layla was bawling her eyes out. "I'm so relieved to tell you that they finally arrived. I know how much you were worried, and I'm happy to report that they arrived after repeated calls from neighbors." A young officer named Salim started asking questions, and he was eager to learn more. "When was the last time you saw him?" "Just an hour and a half ago, he was standing at the door, happily playing. He didn't go far, I'm sure." She looked tired. But you should know that she was extremely focused. She was trying to remember every little detail that might be. It's really important. Did she see anyone passing by? Did she hear any strange noises? Was there a car nearby? There was a young man selling. She saw his body, but his face was hidden. He was wearing a cap and she. I'm sorry, but I didn't hear him say anything. I'm sure it would be okay to do just once, as long as it's without the officer. The police and her notes were on the same page. I'm sure there are surveillance cameras from nearby shops, but oh, no. They were all closed that night due to a power outage. There weren't any cameras in her room, which made it a bit more difficult to get the full story. Layla sat down, ready to take it all in. Right there on the floor in front of her was Adam's little bag. She opened and closed it as if she was searching for something. She found a dead piece of paper in the front pocket. It wasn't written in her son's handwriting. She took her time, pulling it out slowly. It was a tiny piece of paper with just 2 words written in a quirky handwriting. Come back. She let out a gasp, her breathing picking up speed. What's going on, my friend? I'm not sure what it meant. Who had written it? Was it a threatening message? I'd love to give you a hint. She ran to the officer and handed him the paper. He looked at it closely and said, "This isn't a child's handwriting. It's strange, but it's not a clear threat. We'll look into it." The next day, Layla had made up her mind. She didn't want to just sit around and wait for news. She went. He went to the school where Adam was a student and asked the teachers and the children, "What a lovely picture." One of the children said something that made her heart tremble with emotion. Adam said he was going to, and I was so excited for him. He's looking forward to meeting his father. She stopped moving. His father had passed away, and he was really sad about it. I'm so sorry to hear about the car accident you were in 3 years ago. Who told you that? He shared this with me, and he asked me not to tell anyone. He was happy that night. Layla couldn't sleep. Her mind was filled with questions, and she was excited to learn more. Who told my sweet boy that he? I'm so excited for you. Were you going to meet his father? Could he be the reason he left? Did he leave that peculiar note? Is someone? I'd love to know if you're watching. She went out to the balcony and gazed at the sky. I'm not quite sure I understand this story. It's so heartfelt. The next morning, Layla woke up slowly, the gentle sound of a knock gently rousing her from her slumber. The door, my dear. She opened the door carefully. It was Saada. I saw our old neighbor out for a walk, and she had a small breakfast plate with her. With a look of concern on her face, she said in a soft, sad voice, "My sweetie, it's time for breakfast. I know you're ready to continue, and I'm here for you. I'm looking for your son. Hunger won't help." Layla couldn't. I understand, but I'm afraid I can't do that. She sat with her for a few minutes at. She was thinking about the table, but her mind was on something else. Dear Suad. Her best friend, who had always been there for her, asked her out of the blue. Adam is 5 years old, right? Oh, yes, and his father, may God have mercy on him. His name is Sammy. Layla raised her eyes in surprise. Yes, but why are you asking? Suad let out a gentle sigh, as if you're carrying a heavy secret, and I'm here for you. I saw someone who looked like him just the other day. Hey, just wanted to let you know that it's right in front of that old fabric store. He was standing with a young man who was a bit unusual. He was laughing and playing with a small toy, and it made my heart melt. I thought he was. I saw a picture of one of the customer's children yesterday, and I was afraid it was him. Layla felt her heart skip a beat. You got it. It was just a few minutes ago. Layla was standing in front of the abandoned shop next to It's a building that's seen better days. She looked in all directions, trying. I can just picture the scene Swad described. I'm sorry to say there were no children. I looked everywhere for them, but I couldn't find them anywhere. I was so sad, but I'm happy to say that the old sign was still there. There you go. With a warm smile, she opened her little notebook. She had been doing such a great job of writing everything down since Adam had a hard time and he just disappeared. She thoughtfully wrote down the old shop. A kind-hearted witness shared that they saw a child who looked like Adam with a strange young man. She decided to follow this lead even if it was a bit shaky. She went to the police station and asked the officer. Celine kindly offered to help her check the surrounding area. I'm sure they would have asked him even if they had surveillance cameras. The residents told her, Salim, Layla, I'm with you, but hey, let's take a look at what's going on here. I'm worried because something deeper is going on. It was so sweet how the child seemed to understand what you were saying. We're here to help you with whatever you need. I'm curious why he told his friend he was going to see his father. I looked at him, my eyes filled with concern, and whispered, maybe Adam knows something. I'm in the same boat as you, I don't know anything, just like I didn't know everything. I'd like to tell you about my husband, Sammy, and what happened that night. I was so excited to open a box, and I couldn't wait to see what was inside. That had been in her closet for a long time, and she was happy to finally have it back. It's with a heavy heart that I must inform you that it's been closed since Sammy's passing. Inside were photos, letters and small items from the past that hold so much value and memory. I found a photo of a strange man standing next to Sammy. In the background, there was a little sign that said, Eastern Furniture, established 1999. I'm so happy to tell you that the man in the photo is the same man Suwad had described. He knew Sammy and had been there for her. Could he have something to do with Adam's disappearance? She gently held the photo in her hand and looked at it for a long time, her face expressing a warm sense of nostalgia. This photo could hold the key to uncovering the secret. Layla. I looked at the photo for a long time, as if I was searching for something. I'm so excited to share the details for a voice that speaks the truth. The man, standing next to his late wife, Sammy, with his enigmatic features and bright, perceptive eyes were like a warm, welcoming smile. She didn't have much of a clue at the moment. In the morning, Layla went back to the Oriental Furniture store, hoping to. I know you'll find any clue that would lead her to him. The place looked like nobody was around. It's been sitting there for years, covered with a thick layer of dust and broken glass. In one corner, but don't worry, the iron door is there to keep you safe. Hey, just wanted to let you know that the back was ajar. She looked around, her face a picture of confusion, and pushed open the door slowly, my friend. The silence hung in the air like a warm embrace, and then, out of the blue, there it was, a soft, timid voice, breaking the silence and inviting us into the story. She took a step forward, her face showing a warm smile. I'd like to suggest that you proceed with caution. When you went inside, you would have found nothing but furniture. It was made with cloth and smelled of old wood, which gave it a nostalgic and warm feel. Then she heard. She could feel the soft footsteps of someone following her closely behind. She turned quickly and saw an. There's an old man at the entrance, holding a cane, and his eyes. I looked at her, and she looked back at me with a blank expression. She said, a bit nervously, Excuse me, could you tell me if you're the owner of this place? He gave a little nod, and a warm smile spread across his face. With a little nod of acknowledgement, he made his way over to the old chair and took a seat. I'm looking for this man. He used to work here. It seems like. She gently handed him the photo. He took it and looked. He put in a lot of time, and then he shook his head. Do you? Do you know him? She nodded, her face showing her agreement. Absolutely. What's his name? Do you know where I can find him? But the man didn't say a word. She repeated. He asked one question after another, but he didn't say a word. Then, with a playful smile, he pointed to his throat and then to his ear. I realized. It's important to note that the man was deaf and mute. I felt a little confused, but he never gave up, and that's really admirable. I took out a piece of paper and a pen and wrote, Do you know? Adam is a sweet little boy, just 5 years old. He might have been here. He read the message, then turned his face toward one of the old drawers. He opened it slowly and took out a small wooden toy. Layla was quick to grab it, and tears began to well up in her eyes. This is Adam's special toy. I always make sure to put it in his bag for him. The man. He shook his head again and pointed to a picture on. It's the same mysterious man, but with a group of children, full of life and joy. She reached out to him through this man. Do you know where I can find him? She took her time, her pen gliding gracefully across the paper as she wrote. His name is Fairs. He sometimes visits the place, and it's really nice to see him there. He arrives as a pleasant surprise. And then, one day, he just up and left, without saying a word to anyone. I'm sorry to say that he doesn't have a phone. But he was asking about a boy named Adam. Layla stopped moving. When was the last time you saw him? He reached out to me 2 days ago. She went away, and I miss her dearly. She was still holding on to the shop with her hand. The wooden toy is so lovely. Her eyes were filled with tears, but they weren't the kind that hurt. It's a mix of sadness and fear, but also hope. And hope, my dear friend. In a quiet voice, she asked, Ferris, please tell me who you are and why you're here. Would you mind looking for my son for me? That night, Layla sat at her little desk, bathed in the warm, golden glow of the yellow light, was the perfect setting for her to work. A calm, reassuring shadow on the wall. She gently placed the wooden toy on the table. It was like she was holding a piece of Adam's soul, as if it had been separated from him. And it found its way to her, which is really lovely. She trembled between fear and hope. She might discover something, and I hope that this will be good. It's so lovely to think of how a toy would be another thread leading her to her son. She took. With a gentle, measured breath, she opened her notebook. She wrote. It's clear that the name is Fairs, a mysterious man who had been asking about Adam. Her neighbor Suad had seen him, and he appeared in an old photo, which was really exciting. Sammy is here with me. We were still figuring out the connection. Then she wrote below that he was last seen at Shark Furniture. The next day, she went to the police station, hoping they could help her. She felt it was important to let Officer Salim know everything she had found out. And then, with a warm smile, she gently handed him the wooden toy. He took a close look at it and said, This is really important evidence, especially since the deaf witness saw. It's the same man in the photo, isn't it? We'll do our best to look for it. The database for someone with this name, he added with a warm smile. I'll go ahead and request an official search of the shop. We may discover. Hey, just wanted to let you know something else. But before you left the station, one of the security guards came to her with a warm smile and a friendly greeting. One of the security men said to Miss Layla, I'm so sorry, but I'm afraid I have some news about you. Hey there. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to let you know that something arrived in your name this morning, and it didn't have a stamp. Oh, you're just the person for this. It was left at the door of the station. Just hand it to her, and she'll be happy. It was a little envelope with no address or signature. She opened. I was so happy to find that there was only one piece of paper inside. It was written in clear handwriting, and I could tell the writer really cared. Your son is doing well, but he's in. Oh, no, you're in the wrong place. Don't trust anyone. She was taken aback and didn't know how to respond. Place. The kind officer asked her, What is this, sweetheart? She handed him the paper quietly. He took a close look at the letters and said, I'm wondering if it could be fairs. She shook her head, her face showing her concern. I don't. I'm sure you know, but I'm just wondering if you have any idea who left and who I'm looking for. Oh, I'm so glad you called. I was just wondering, what made you think to call? And how did he know where I was? She's on her way, and I'm so excited for her. Layla's eyes were on everything at home. I'm so excited to share this detail with you. She had this feeling that she wasn't alone. She was moving one step ahead of her. At home. She read the note again and again, her mind trying to process every word. Hey, just a friendly reminder, be careful and don't trust too easily. Anyone would be welcome. She couldn't stop thinking about it, wondering if I'm sure he was just trying to help, or maybe he was playing. She's thinking about it with her mind. Then she remembered something. She went to the picture of fairs. She had taken something from the old box and was looking at it closely. There was a little sign behind him with his name on it. I'm so happy to tell you about a wonderful charity called Dar Al-Kamar. They provide care for. I'm so worried about the orphans in the Al-Nur neighborhood. Her heart was beating fast. I'm wondering if Ferris is working there? Could Adam be there? She jumped up, her eyes bright with surprise. From her seat, she lovingly gathered her belongings and gently took her leave, leaving the home with a sense of purpose and intention. It was a day like no other when Layla arrived at the Al-Nur is a lovely old neighborhood on the outskirts of the city. It was a tranquil moment, where time seemed to move at a leisurely pace. The sign she had seen in the photo, which made her think of you. It was a little worn out and giving a bit. Dar Al-Kamar for the care of orphans. She gently pushed the old, rusty iron door. A warm, friendly face greeted me, a woman in her 50s who looked tired and exhausted. I'm so tired. My name is Layla, she said in a soft and reassuring voice. I'm looking for a man named Fairs. I was told he was here, and he's doing well. The woman raised her eyebrows in surprise. Fairs? Yes, he was here. He dedicated himself to volunteering with. The children are doing well, but he hasn't been around much in the last few months. He comes sometimes at night to distribute gifts and then disappears. Do you happen to know where he lives? No one knows. We don't have. His address is listed below. He's a bit of a free spirit, making his way through life as he pleases. The children are absolutely enamored with him. Layla stepped into the courtyard, her heart filled with joy. I'm so excited to tell you that the house is ready for you. The ground was covered with a beautiful, sparkling gravel and a joyful bunch of little ones. They were playing quietly, and it was so lovely to hear them. A little boy, no older than 6, came up to her. He was happily carrying a small plastic toy train in his hands. "Are you Adam?" Layla stopped moving and lowered herself to one knee in front of him. She asked him, her voice warm and gentle, "What do you need, sweetie?" With a warm smile, she asked, "Do you know Adam? Have you seen him?" "Oh," he said he was going back to his mother. He was smiling. "When did you see him? How many days ago was that? When did Uncle Ferris come? He gave us all some candy." Adam was with him, but they left together. Layla felt a bit dizzy, as if she were spinning around and around. Her son. She saw it with her own eyes, but she didn't understand why it was here, alive, right in front of her. Would it be okay if he came back? And why didn't anyone call her? She went. I approached the director of the orphanage with a warm smile and asked, "How could you not? You should call the police. This is a missing child." The lady said. In a calm and reassuring tone, they said, "We had no idea he was missing. Ferris shared some wonderful news with us. He said he was staying with a family friend and that he just brought him to visit. He looked content, and he didn't stay long." Layla took a deep breath and whispered, "He's my son. He was kidnapped. Right outside my house." The manager paused for a moment, then shared his thoughts with a warm smile, saying, "I'm here to help. Every time Ferris comes, he happens to pass by an old perfume shop. I'm so excited to tell you about our neighborhood. The owner knows him well. Go to him. His name is Haj Naim." It's always sad when someone leaves a place they love, and Layla is no exception. She's bid farewell to her beloved Dar al-Qamar. She was still crying, but her tears were not a sign of weakness. They were tears of hope. Everything was becoming clear. Ferris was not. He was just a stranger. He knew Sammy and he knew Adam. He took such good care of him, making sure he was safe and comfortable wherever they went. I can't help but wonder why he was hiding him and why he didn't return him. Was that for her? Layla stood at the door of the old perfume shop. She was determined not to leave until she got an answer, and I totally understood why. Layla was standing in front of the old perfume shop, and she felt a sense of nostalgia as she remembered the days when she had visited the shop with her family. Her heart was filled with hope, and she felt a sense of warmth spreading through her body. And anxiety. The shop sign was written in elegant Arabic, which made it all the more charming. Perfumes of Haj Naim since 1982. She gently pushed the wooden door and was immediately greeted by the lovely scent. It has a lovely jasmine scent, with hints of musk and amber. It was as if she had entered a warm embrace. It's a perfume museum, not a shop. Haj Naim was a kind, warm, and friendly man. He sat behind a wooden table, carefully filling small bottles. She spoke to him gently, and her eyes were begging you to listen. "Good morning. I'm looking. This is for a dear man named Ferris. I heard he sometimes visits you." The kind old man looked at her for a long time, and then he said in a gentle voice, "Ferris? Oh, he's a regular, he comes almost every week. He's a good man." He seemed a bit distant, so I went up to him and asked, with a bit of hesitation, "Do you happen to know where he lives or how I can get in touch with him? It's urgent. He's with my son." The old man was surprised. With a warm smile, he asked her, "Is that your son?" "I'm sorry, but I didn't catch the name of the company." It's important to note that the child wasn't related to him. On the contrary, he said that he had been taking care of him since his father passed away. Layla took a moment to pause and gather her thoughts. And then, in a soft, hushed voice, she said, I'm Adam's mom. It's been 3 years since my beloved husband, Sammy, passed away. It's been 3 years since my son went away, and I'm still missing him dearly. It's so sad, he drowned. Haj Naim was suddenly overcome by a feeling of quiet, and he rose from his chair. He went to a little cabinet behind him. He took out. With a gentle touch, she opened the worn brown notebook and began to flip through its pages, her fingers gently dancing across the worn paper as she read the old words written so long ago. He pointed to a line written in neat handwriting and said, Ferris. He left a landline number about a month ago. He said he was moving to temporary accommodation in the countryside, but for some reason, he didn't end up going there. Please give me the exact address, and I'll make sure it gets to you. He gently handed her the paper and said, Hey, this is the number, but I'm not sure if it's still valid. Works. Layla gently closed the door of the shop, and the paper quivered gently in her hands. Between her fingers, if you look closely. She went to the closest public phone. And then, with a warm smile, she dialed the number. The phone rang a few times. Then, a gentle male voice answered, and it sounded like he wasn't expecting the call. A call, my friend. Hello, he said, his voice warm and welcoming. Layla held her breath, then said, Is this Fairs? After a long pause, a voice full of confusion replied. Yes, it's Layla, she said, her voice quivering with emotion. This is Layla, Adam's mother. The silence stretched on, and I felt my heart go out to her. Then, ever so gently, his voice returned, almost like a whisper. I knew you would find me one day, she said to him, her voice warm and gentle. It's so emotional. Where is my sweet boy? I would love to. I would love for you to see him. I want to know the truth. Fairs replied calmly. That's interesting. Adam is doing well, and he's not just your son, Layla. Sammy kept something from you, and I'm the one who carried the secret. Years. Then he ended the call. Layla stood there, taken aback. The phone, and the words she heard on the other end, resonating in her mind. No, I'm sorry, but that's not going to work. Adam is more than just your son. Sammy was holding something back from us. I've got a secret to share with you. Now, she wasn't just looking for her son, but for the truth that her closest friends and family had never shared with her. Layla sat on the edge of her bed in. She was holding her room key and a piece of paper with Fair's number on it. His words lingered with her, their resonance gently reverberating within her mind. It's like a painful echo, isn't it? Adam is so much more than just your son. Sammy hid. I would really love to get something from you. She couldn't sleep. She felt as if the ground. She was nervous, not just because she was worried about Adam. She was also worried about Sammy, her life partner. She had trusted him, even after he passed away. She got up out of bed, ready to face the day. She opened an old box, and inside, she found the letters she had kept so dearly. And his personal papers, too. Everything seemed. It was all normal until she found a small, unfamiliar envelope. It doesn't have an address, sweetie. She opened it with trembling hands. When you opened it up, you were greeted with. Sammy wrote a short note on a single sheet of paper. If anything happens to me tonight, I just wanted to let you know that I was trying to protect you. I've got something to tell you, something I couldn't tell you before. The child. We're raising our son with love and care. Yes, but he's not related to us. There's a lady from a person who had been through some tough times showed up in my life one day. It was so kind of him to not leave me alone. Adam came from both of you. He came, and it was wonderful. It all started with a great love and a really big mistake. I'm sorry. Layla's hands felt icy cold. Layla looked at the paper, as if she were reading it, her face showing her deep concentration. For the very first time, you get to experience. It was a heartbreaking blow. Adam is not her son. Who is this amazing woman? And what is her story? I'm wondering why Sammy didn't tell her. I'll tell you what happened. In the morning, she decided to call the number.